morning to all my dear students. Dear students, in our last class we discussed about force, work and energy. Is it, children? So these three are interconnected. That also we discussed. Then now we know that force is a push or pull, right? So now I am going to teach you about the types of force. So let's check what are the different types of force. Okay, what causes the football to move when it is kicked? What happened, children? Actually, I used my force, is it? This force we can call it as muscular force. Okay, students, when I kick a ball, I am using my muscular force. Okay, I'm kicking it. What happens? The ball goes up and then falls down again. This happens because of the force exerted by earth on the ball. This force we called as a gravity. So gravity pulls object downwards towards the center of the earth. So which force I used? I didn't use any force. That force is used by our earth. Okay, that is attractive force. We can call it as a gravitational force. What it is? Gravitational force. Okay, so children, when I am kicking the ball, maybe I will move or I will run, but something that is have to stand me into the ground. Sometimes I will stack like this for kicking the ball, or sometimes I will run speedily for kicking this ball. But sometimes I can feel that something which helps to me to stand in the ground. There is one force. That force we can call it as a frictional force. We are able to walk or run because of the frictional force between me and the surface. Okay, me and the ground. We can say like that also. So that force we can call it as a frictional force. So what all are the three forces we discussed now? One is kicking force. Is it? No, that we can call it as a muscular force. Then second one is for falling down, which force? That is gravitational force. And for moving and running, sometimes something helps to me to stand the ground, that we can call it as a frictional force. So let's take three forces now. So now we are going to learn about muscular force, then gravitational force, and one more thing, that is friction. Okay, frictional force. So these are the three different types of force we are going to check now. So students, from this we can understand muscular force means, that is, I am producing force to kick that ball. It is actually a force produced by our muscles, is it, to kick the ball or carry out our task, that we can call it as a muscular force. Here we are using our muscles to carry the task. Example also, that is, a porter carries luggage and a rickshaw puller carries people around using muscular force. Push or pull, we are using our muscular force. Okay, for pushing or pulling an object, we are using our muscular force. So muscular force, we are using our muscles to carry out that task. Clear, all of you? Next, I am going to teach you about the gravitational force. What is gravitational force? Just now you saw that when I kick the ball, it is falling down, right? It is moving. Or we can say, good example, that is Newton's. Do you know Isaac Newton? Yes, of course. And what is the related example of that gravitational force? Do you know that story? Okay, then say that story. How he found gravitational force. Say that story as my topic question answer. So question is, say the story of Isaac Newton related to gravitational force. I will give one clue. One apple story is that. So you should find it and send to me personal WhatsApp that story related to gravitational force and Sir Isaac Newton. Clear? So we can define it as a natural phenomena by which two objects like earth and an apple. Suppose I am saying the example, earth and apple, that have mass or energy. It attracts one another. Okay, that we can call it as a gravitational force. This happens because of the force exerted by the earth. Okay, it is caused because of the force exerted by the earth on the ball. This force we can call it as a gravity. Okay, gravity pulls the object downwards towards the center of the earth. Okay, so Actually, it is the attractive force of our earth, that we can call it as a gravitational force. This example, the sun's gravity, it helps earth and the other planets to revolve around the sun in their own orbits. And gravity is needed for the formation of tides in the sea. So students, next we can check about the frictional force. What is frictional force? That is, now you just see the example. When I am kicking the ball, what will happen? I am moving and I am running from one place to another place to kick the ball, is it? But force that is helps to stand in the ground. That force we can call it as a frictional force, or otherwise we can like that. It's a type of a force that is act between moving object. Here I am moving, okay, and the surface along with it move, okay. That is, I am moving in the surface of the earth or ground, okay. So it is a force between the moving object. Here moving object is me, right? Moving object and earth or surface, okay. So it is the force between the moving object and the surface, okay, that we can call it as a frictional force. Clear? It plays an important role in our daily life. Let's check. We are able to walk because of frictional force between our foot sole and the ground. Then also it's difficult to walk on smooth, slippery ground. If the ground is greasy or oily, it is very difficult to walk on smooth surface. This is because the presence of oil or grease reduces the frictional force between the ground and our shoes or our foot. No, children, rough surface generate more friction than the smooth surface. That helps to climbing in a mountain because it is a rough surface. Okay, so there is a friction. Clear? That is how mountain climbers can easily climb on the rough surface because of friction. Okay, I am writing in the board, right children, and you can see many things I wrote on the board, is it? But if there is no friction between my sketch pen and my board, what will happen? You cannot see it. So there is a friction in between my pen and my board, or otherwise when you are writing in the notebook, you can see the things because of there is a friction between your pen and your notebook. Clear, all of you? Students, now we learned about 3 different types of force. What are they? Muscular force, gravitational force and frictional force. So all should have to read the chapter at least 3 times, and more about the types of force we can discuss in our next class. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Don't forget about our story related to Isaac Newton. Thank you.